I won't stop till I hear him say,
Okay, what is going on, CYPRX advanced YouTubers? Welcome back to the CYPRX YouTube page. As always, if you guys are interested in learning about cryptocurrencies, commodities, indices, foreign exchange, please go ahead and consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. In today's video breakdown, guys and gals, we are going to go over an XRP trade entry that I just recently placed on XRP, looking for this current price action to roll up back above 37.5 to maybe 38 cents to come and fill all the imbalances here from where London session sold from. We already know that New York session right now currently is buying from where they previous bought from and during previous sessions. I had mentioned to you guys in this tweet right here, XRP banks will buy when prices are discounted based off of where they bought from previous. Well, we had a hard time breaking this 36.75 psychological level on the 1 minute chart. I entered in for a position based off the ideology that banking institutions could potentially be buying from a previous area where they bought from before. As always, I will cover and update this price action as price goes along. We have 4 minutes remaining on this 15-minute candlestick. We have the FOMC meeting coming out at 11:30, which is roughly in about 3 hours from now. So I will keep you guys updated on this price action. And when we jump back into the analysis, I will go over in full detail why it is that I entered into this position and why I'm seeking for price action to come back up into these areas, roughly at around 38 to maybe even 39 cents before we seek to take profit, right? So with that being said, I'll let you guys go on that one and we'll come back and check the market here in a couple of hours just to see if this price came into fruition for us. Beautiful trade breakdown. In my personal opinion, I mentioned to you guys on Twitter as well that we were having some trendline liquidity here in this area that the banking institutions could potentially be targeting. We've come and we've attacked that trendline liquidity, but now we have implemented capital into the market. We're protecting our capital by utilizing a stop loss. So with that being said, I'll see you guys back here in a couple of hours with the rest of this trade breakdown. Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to this XRP fundamental and technical analysis breakdown. So real fast, we are about 2.5 hours into the session compared to when we started this recording. I had mentioned to you guys in the previous video breakdown that I was going to do a complete analysis on why it is that we were entering into the XRP trade here in this area. We have created a higher low, roughly speaking. So I'm about to move my stops to break even. I will most likely do that during this during this recording. But you guys can see how the trade is still currently floating in profit. I'd mentioned to you guys in the previous recording. Again, we are in the live market, roughly about 3 minutes and 30 seconds left playing on this candlestick. That we're expecting price to come up and roll over roughly into around 38 to 39 cents for this XRP scalp position. So I'm going to now go into a full technical analysis breakdown as to why we were looking at this trade, why I mentioned to you guys on Twitter, XRP banks will buy when prices are discounted based off of where they bought from previously. So I'll go ahead and I'll delete this, but you guys can see if I zoom in here, I said that right at this bearish candlestick. Okay, so right here at this bearish candlestick, you guys know I like to give you little subliminal messages on Twitter. If anybody caught that and you guys know the CYPRX strategy, you guys could have well developed a nice, beautiful risk to reward trade and pulled the trigger on this trading analysis. So let me get rid of this tweet and then we'll go over in extreme detail why it was that I was looking at this potential trade setup. Okay. So very first thing that I like to do when I'm coming into a trade is I like to have logical target areas. Well, here in this general vicinity, we can see that Asia session sold from a high and London session sold from a high and New York session got past price action, generally speaking, at a low. And so with that being said, in my personal opinion, if this market is going to continue down, then we are going to see New York session sell off, buy price action back up so that way they can push price into a premium and then sell off again if they can have enough time to push price up into a high so that way they can get a premium sell position. We also have imbalances in these candlesticks that I was looking for the market to fill, and we also have this double top formation that I was looking for the market to come and potentially grab out if we do see a break to the upside, right? So we have this kind of double top or retail resistance area right here in this general vicinity where we can imagine over leveraged retail traders are attempting to sell from these highs. I sent you guys a screenshot on Twitter of this picture right here of liquidity potentially above these highs resting, right? Where retail traders are most likely selling in the form of over leveraged positions above these highs. And then we also know that buy stop traders have buy stops above these double top formations where they're looking to get tapped into the market if the market does appreciate in value above these highs, right? So with that being said, that is an interesting area of liquidity just to build logic around my take profit and my target areas. Again, whenever you're trading these markets, you want to have a reason as to why you're trading in that direction. Well, we know that banking institutions like to push the market in the direction of where liquidity rests or where the most liquidity lies. So with that being said, you always want to have liquidity targets in mind where that imaginary liquidity in the form of retail positions exists in the market. Right. So coming into this trade, why it is that I was looking to take this position based off of a couple of different things. We have previous areas of interest where banking institutions bought from earlier, and coming into this New York session, we had the ideology that the markets were potentially going to push price lower because we have this what set up here. We have this potential trend line set up here that I also posted to you guys on Twitter. If I go ahead and I hit the replay tool before we entered into this market position, right here during New York session open, you guys can see that we have the triple touch of a trend line. You guys know here at CYPRX, we seek to trade against that. Again, the retail majority herd traders are doing what here? They're taking over leveraged buy positions from these lows. Then we see another New York session, over leveraged retail traders taking buy positions from these lows. And we see over leveraged buy position traders taking positions from these lows as well in the form of a triple touch of a trend line. Retail traders are drawing some type of imaginary trend line here in this area, and we know banking institutions are setting up some type of liquidity trap all beneath these lows in the form of over leveraged position traders. The market makers, if they're going to take price higher, I tweeted out to you guys roughly right here in this area that the banking institutions will buy price once price is discounted enough for them. So with that being said, all we simply did was we waited. We can clearly see the lows that New York session the previous day we're buying from. You guys can see we are in this New York session looking to take buy positions. I mentioned that to you guys on Twitter as well. And we also see previous days New York sessions where banking institutions were taking buys from. So aside from these two sessions, where were the other significant areas that New York session took buy positions from? All the way back down here in this general vicinity. Okay, you guys can see this New York session coming all the way down here. Banking institutions took buys from roughly at around 36 cents. Okay. So you guys can see how every single time the banking institutions are pushing price down into lows or roughly where they bought from at around 36 cents to then take buy positions again. Same thing. They got past price action at the high. You guys can see that here in this general vicinity, but then they pushed price lower and then they took two buy positions during their New York session. So we see the same reoccurring pattern. So when we get past price action at this general vicinity, you can see the trend line liquidity here. And you can also see all the way over here in this general vicinity where the banking institutions bought from previous. So I like to utilize the piggyback methodology. I had this general 36-cent region marked off where you can see banking institutions during New York session bought from once and then bought from twice in this general vicinity. And we can also see this is where the trend line manipulation started to take place. Okay, so with that being said, we trade against that. So we wait to see if the market makers are going to push down into that area of liquidity before they take buy positions. With that being said, let's go over the piggyback methodology that we teach in extreme detail in the CYPRX course content, right? So taking our box tool, okay, and highlighting some key areas of interest where the banking institutions purchased from the previous day, we can see right here in this general vicinity from the wick low to the candlestick bodies, highlighting that entire area and extending that over, we can see that New York, Asia, and London session all purchased from this general vicinity here, here, and here. This is London, purchased from this low, roughly at around 36750, which is again a psychological level that is significant to us trading XRP against the United States dollar. If we're just talking about psychological levels, why? Because we know that the United States dollar is going up against XRP. So we are going to correlate our psychological levels to move in tandem with the quarter theory. We know that that is what the banking institutions are going to be looking at in the form of discount if they're going to seek to take buys. Well, we can see one session, two sessions, and three sessions sought to take discounted buys from this 36750 psychological level. So if we push price action down into this level, most likely it is going to be a sensitive area if we fail to break it. So on the lower time frame, i.e. the 1 minute chart, once we get into that, I will show you guys why I entered into this position. So as soon as New York session gets past price action, Think of everything that we have built in the form of confluences coming up to this trading session so far. Most people will say, oh, hindsight testing is rubbish and they will never go back and back test price action. But guys, check this out. This is how much price action we would have had to analyze before coming into this trading day. So we can see a couple of different things. Imbalances in these potential candlesticks that need to get filled for bullish targets. Where banking institutions sold from previous sessions, i.e. Asia and London, or banking institutions during New York, if they're going to take premium sells, are most likely going to push price up into to then take sell positions in the form of premium. So that's confluence number 2. Confluence number 3 surrounding target areas, we have equal highs where retail traders are trading over leveraged sell positions, which is giving us ever more confluence to buy price action because we know banking institutions like to hunt that type of liquidity, right? Then coming into this New York session to be patient and wait and sit on our hands for further discount, we can see trendline liquidity where we know the triple touch of a trend line, i.e. during this New York session, we see trendline traders trading here. This New York session, same thing. And this New York session to continue follow suit, right? We see the buildup of that trendline liquidity. So as retail traders that trade the CYPRX strategy, we're going to wait to sit on our hands to see if that triple touch of a trend line can get taken out. And we got exactly that. Once the market broke out of the manipulation window and dipped beneath this trendline liquidity, simply all we had to do, again, to build our confluences was highlight from the candlestick bodies down to the wick and seek to identify where previous banking institutions bought from the previous day in the form of discount and extend that over to the right-hand side, surrounding the ideology that the banking institutions like to piggyback and buy off of where they either bought from the previous day or where previous sessions bought from in their previous trading day. Right? So with all those confluences so far in mind, simply all we did was we witnessed that this was a previous market A to B move or break in market structure. So if we can see from this wick low to this wick high, this is a new market A to B move that broke a previous market structure high. So to round all this off and to build all of our confluences, now that you guys can see, all I simply did was I took my fib from this London session low all the way to the high, to this Asia session, again, that broke. Let me clear up some of these drawings for you guys. Previous market session highs, so you guys can see this market session high right here during this Asia session was broken by this market structure high. Okay, so now fractally, we know that this is a new A to B move. And at any given moment in time, if the market comes down into these lower levels, we could see a potential bullish reversal or a bullish reaction because we see that the market makers bought from these significant areas in previous sessions, right? So simply all I did again to build my confluences was I waited for a 70 to 79 to 100% discount where again, the banking institutions like to buy from, drawing proper Fibonacci sequences. And you guys can see how as soon as the market opened during New York session, we dumped and we came for that trend line liquidity. So I will go ahead and I will play that. I had buy limit set roughly at around 80% discount. I just highlighted the psychological level 36750. You guys can see that if I went and I dragged this over, the banking institutions bought previously from this same psychological level, 36750. Boom, right there. So all I did was I put a buy limit in roughly at around 36750, and I waited for price action to come and grab all of that trendline liquidity and reverse based off of, again, an A to B discounted move where if New York sessions are going to buy, they're going to buy at around 80 to 79 to 100 or 70% discount somewhere in this general vicinity, but seeing that the banking institutions previously bought during London, New York, and Asia at this 36750 psychological level, me as an investor, not only an investor, but as a day trader, I want the best bang for my buck. Well, if I can see where previous sessions bought from at this discounted price, then I'm going to wait to seek if I can get that same discounted price. And we got that today, you guys and gals. Check this out. When I play price action for you, watch all the confluences come into fruition. So we're simply waiting. We're sitting on our hands, right? New York session opens and boom, we come into the market. I tweeted out to you guys right here at this bearish candlestick that we are going to see the banking institutions buy price action once they have determined that price is discounted enough. Well, we push in the discount a little bit more. There's that 36750 psychological level touch. And you guys can see as soon as we touch that psychological level to the T, you guys can see the bullish reaction in this 15-minute candlestick. So now we'll jump down to the 1-minute chart. Actually, let's go down to the 2-minute chart. So 2-minute chart, you guys can see bearish momentum immediately matched with bullish momentum. So we see this bearish pressure down into the 36750 psychological level and immediately gets matched with bullish momentum. That means that bulls are still interested in price at these discounted levels. So I entered in based off of a proper risk to reward ratio. The confluences were there for take profit areas. We also have early sellers above these New York session highs coming into this New York session manipulation window. You guys know, if you're a CYPRX student, or if you followed this YouTube channel for quite some time, that we have a manipulation window prior to the New York session, where we can imagine early retail sellers fractally are selling all of these highs in the form of, again, let me get rid of these drawings for you guys so you don't get confused. What do we see right here? Retail resistance. We see the market fail to break these highs. And we know that retail traders are most likely anticipating a continuation down based off of the previous bearish pressure from previous Asia session and previous London session. So what are these traders doing prior to the New York session? They're chasing the market. But we are not going to chase the market as retail traders that trade the CYPRX strategy, because we're not operating at a high and we're not operating yet at a low. So right here, this is called a no man land. We're not trading this right here. But retail traders that are impatient are. They're just setting up liquidity for us here at CYPRX to come and grab once we're patient enough and we react to our strategy, buying from a discount from where banking institutions bought from previous sessions, to come and attack their stop losses. And you guys can see now that I break out of this replay mode where we are currently sitting at in this trade. All right, we are coming for that liquidity right now. So let's see if we can continue this. Again, we are on the 2-minute chart. Let's go back to the 15-minute chart. You guys can see how this trade played out. I recorded a video for you all previous, so that way you guys can see that I put my money where my mouth is, and that the analysis that I attempt to cover here on CYPRX is a well-defined trading strategy that gives us the best edge in the market. We do not sit here and attempt to give these bullish moonboy price predictions. We give valid technical analysis time and time again based off of certain things in the market that give us an edge, that happen time and time again based off of logic. If anybody's interested in learning our technical analysis approach to the market and how we get in and out of the market, well defined, day in and day out, month in, month out, again, guys and gals, that link is in the description down below. Reach out to me. I'd love to schedule a Zoom call with you all. Let's see how much longer this takes to come into fruition. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move my stops on my MetaTrader 4 to break even and secure some profit, just because FOMC is about to take place in roughly about an hour and a half. So there's most likely going to be a volatile price swing when that announcement comes out. So I'm just going to protect my capital just in case this market does decide to reverse from a premium and sell off. Right? Again, remember, protecting your capital is the hard part. However, I'm expecting for this market to continue and smash through 38 cents. If it does, roughly at around 39 to 39 and a half cents is where I will take full profit. If the market can come and attack these equal highs, that would be beautiful to see. I will give you guys another update once FOMC is finished. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Anybody that is interested in that mentorship, again, that link is in the description down below. Schedule a Zoom call with me. You guys can ask questions about the mentorship. I can show face, I can introduce myself to you. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next breakdown, roughly in another hour or two. Alrighty, guys and gals, the New York session is about to end. We are going to be rolling over into Asia session in the next couple of hours. So I'm going to go ahead and end the series of video recordings here. You guys can see on this 30-minute candlestick, we have about 11 minutes left. So just putting my money where my mouth is, showing you guys from start to finish how we seek to trade these markets. This trade is still currently floating in profit. My stops, I told you guys in the previous video, are moved to break even. I had also mentioned to you guys that we were seeking to come and target these inefficiencies in the market, these imbalances, as well as the early sellers above New York session traders. Early on into this market, manipulated pre-engineered liquidity in the form of sellers that chased the market. They probably most likely saw Asia selling. They saw London session selling, and then they wanted to continue to follow suit. However, that is not what the market had in mind. I mentioned to you guys on Twitter a couple of different tweets. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, I like to give you guys a heads up before, I do take positions in the market. So just scrolling all the way down, just let's see if I started this tweet thread. Nah, I think I started it right here. Okay, so I said right here, this is about 8 hours ago, interesting setup right before high impact news events. And I had drawn out for you guys some trend line liquidity, as well as that liquidity target to the upside that we were seeking to grab. So that was the first hint, little subtle hint that I gave to you guys on Twitter. I also said banks will buy when prices are discounted based off of where they bought from previously. Then I mentioned to you guys that trendline liquidity traders had been liquidated before, right? And after, showing you guys that analysis, kind of just walking through everybody subliminally on Twitter, showing you guys, that the analysis plays out. Then last but not least, this last tweet, I said, interesting how XRP is the only green crypto right now on my list after I told you all that banks will buy from previous discount areas where they bought from in their past session. And then I gave you guys some little hush hush face emojis because, guys and gals, the CYPRX strategy does not lie. We target logic in the market. We trade with an edge in the market that, again, gives us a higher probability setup to go in our favor. You guys can see right here that after tweeting that out to you guys today, that XRP is the only green cryptocurrency when I took this screenshot. Very interesting to say the least. So blessings to you guys all. If you guys enjoyed that video breakdown, I mentioned to you guys that we were going to smash at the very beginning of the call to 37.5 to roughly 38 cents as our initial targets. Current price action to roll up back above 37.5 to maybe 38 cents to come and fill all the imbalances here from where London session sold from. We already. And while I'm recording this, 9 minutes left on this candlestick as of right now. We just tapped into that 38-cent psychological level. So I will go ahead and leave you all with that video recording. Smash that thumbs up button if breakdowns like this help you all out, understand technical analysis a little bit better. If any of you all are interested in accelerating in your trading career via how you approach the market, technical analysis wise, guys and gals, that link is in the description down below. You're always more than welcome to email the customer support team, reach out, hop on a Zoom call with me. I'll share face, talk to you guys about what to expect in the course community and from the CYPRX material. As always, blessings to you guys all. I do appreciate the love and the support. Don't forget to please be mindful, please be aware, and I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video breakdown.
Till I hear him say